Good morning, students. This is class 11th, subject chemistry, chapter 2, structure of atom, lecture number 9. Topics of today's lecture are: first, we will revise Bohr's postulate, electronic energy is negative energy, hydrogen spectrum, and limitation of Bohr's model. After that, we will do development leading to quantum mechanical model of atom and de Broglie concept of dual nature of atom. So postulate of Bohr's model of atom is that atom consists of a positively charged nucleus and electrons revolves around nucleus in circular path, and this circular path is known as orbit. So you can see here that nucleus, it is positively charged, and electrons, it revolves around nucleus, and these circular path are known as orbit or shell. Now we can name it n is equal to 1 as K, n is equal to 2 as L, n is equal to 3 as M, n is equal to 4 as N. Now out of these number of circular orbits, only those orbits are possible whose energy is fixed. So energy of each orbit is fixed, and these orbits are also known as energy level or stationary states. Now remember, here stationary states does not mean that electrons are stationary. Stationary means that energy of each orbit is fixed, and energy level, they can be numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can dedicate it as K, L, M, N, O, P, and so on. Okay, now energy of each orbit can be determined using the formula En is equal to minus 21.8 into 10 to the power minus 19 divided by n square joule per atom. Or you can write like in this way, 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 divided by n square. Now, if we have to find out energy of first orbit, then here we will write E1 is equal to minus 21.8 into 10 to the power minus 19 divided by 1 square. Okay. For second orbit, you will write here 2 and here 2 square. Now, this is the energy in joule. If you want to find out energy in electrovolt, then you will use this formula. N is the number of orbit or shell. Now next is, in the same way you will find out radii of the stationary state. So here you will use the formula Rn is equal to A naught into n square. Here A naught is the radius of first orbit, which is equal to 52.9 picometer, and this is for hydrogen atom. For hydrogen atom, radius of first orbit is 52.9 picometer. And again, if you want to find out radius of first orbit, so here you will write R1 is equal to A naught 1 square. For hydrogen-like species like helium positive, lithium 2 positive, those species which have only one electron, you will use this formula Rn is equal to A naught n square divided by Z. Z is atomic number of the element. So for helium positive, Z is equal to 2, and if you want to find out R2, then it is equal to 52.9 into 2 square divided by 2. Now third postulate, since electron revolves only in those orbits which have fixed value of energy, and electron in an atom can have only certain definite values of energy and not any value of their own, so we can say that energy of an electron is quantized. That means energy of an electron in an orbit is fixed. That is why we can say that energy of an electron is quantized. In the same way, angular momentum of the electron is also quantized. That means angular momentum of an electron is fixed. So only those electrons are allowed to revolve in an orbit whose angular momentum is equal to integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. So here angular momentum is mvr and n is a integer Okay, so only those electrons are allowed to revolve around nucleus in an orbit whose angular momentum is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. So this is fourth postulate of Bohr's model. Fifth one is that when electrons in an atom are in their normal energy state, they keep on revolving in their respective orbits. Like for example, if electron is present in n is equal to 2 orbit, then energy of electron will be fixed in n is equal to 2 orbit. There will be no loss or gain of energy of the electron. And this energy is known as ground state or normal state of electron. So here in this diagram you can see that electron is present in n is equal to 1 orbit. And energy of electron in one orbit is fixed. Energy of the electron can be changed only when electron change its orbit. So when we supply energy, electron will absorb energy and it will go from ground state to higher energy state. Now higher energy state is also known as excited state. Excited state is very unstable for the electron and it is for very short period of time. So electron will come back to lower energy level. And when electron come back to lower energy level, it will release energy. So from here we can find out difference between these two energy level. Using the formula delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. We know what is the formula of E, that is energy. It is equal to minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 divided by n square. So here energy is emitted or absorbed only when the electrons jump from one orbit to the other. When energy supplied to an atom, electron in the atom jumps from its normal energy state or ground state to higher energy level. And the state of atom is called excited state. Excited state is very unstable, so electron come back to its original state and release energy. The amount of energy emitted or absorbed is given by the difference of energies of two energy levels concerned. That is delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. Now this is the diagram when electron come back to its ground state. When electron come back to its ground state, then it release energy. Okay. Now next postulate is the frequency of the photon of light thus emitted depends upon the energy difference of the two energy levels concerned. Okay, so here we know what is the formula of delta E. Delta E is equal to h nu. So here we can write delta E as E2 minus E1. So the formula will become nu is equal to E2 minus E1 divided by h. We can write nu, that is frequency, equal to c by lambda. So from this formula we can find out value of lambda, that is wavelength. So wavelength is equal to hc by E2 minus E1, which is equal to delta E. Now there is a question why energy of electron in the formula is taken as negative energy. You know the formula that E is equal to minus 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 divided by n square. So in this formula we take energy of electron as negative. Now the question is why? So we will understand this answer with the help of one example. Suppose there is one atom and electron is present at infinite distance from the nucleus of the atom. When electron is present at the infinite distance, there is no force of attraction between electron and atom. So we will take energy of the electron equal to 0. When electron comes near to the atom, then there will be some force of attraction between nucleus of the atom and electron. So energy of the electron will decrease as it is coming near to the atom. Initially energy of electron was 0. Now energy of electron is decreased, so that means now it will be negative. So as the electron comes more and more close to nucleus, attraction increases and more energy is released. And energy of electron becomes less and less This explains why the energy decreases as we move from the outer to the inner energy level. Remember, whenever we come from higher energy level to lower energy level, energy decreases, energy releases. And whenever electron jump from lower energy level to higher energy level, it absorbs energy. Now next is hydrogen spectrum. Now we will understand what is hydrogen spectrum. So when we take a sample of hydrogen, and hydrogen exists in H2 molecule, and when we heat it, then H2 molecule convert into hydrogen atom. Now electron which are present in hydrogen atom will absorb energy, and these electron will go from lower energy level to higher energy level. Okay, like suppose this is structure of atom and these are the orbit, and electron in hydrogen atom is present in n is equal to 1. So when we supply energy, then this electron will absorb energy and it will go to higher energy level. Now, as I've already told you that higher energy level or excited state is very unstable. So electron, it will come back to lower energy level or ground state. So it will release energy. Now, when it will release energy, it will produce large number of lines in the atomic spectrum of hydrogen. So this is a diagram which is showing lines in the atomic spectrum. Now it is the possibility that the excited state of the electron is 2. If excited state of electron is 2, then electron will come back to ground state. So that means electron will come back from n is equal to 2 to n is equal to 1. Okay, and n is equal to 1 is Lyman series and it lies in ultraviolet region. Now it is also a possibility that excited state of electron can be n is equal to 3. So if excited state of electron is n is equal to 3, so electron will come back from n is equal to 3 to n is equal to 1. In the same way, this is also a possibility that excited state is n is equal to 4. So electron will come back from n is equal to 4 to n is equal to 1. In the same way, n is equal to 5 to n is equal to 1, n is equal to 6 to n is equal to 1, n is equal to 7 to n is equal to 1, from 8th orbit to 1st orbit. So these are the possibilities. In the same way, you can take n value as 9, 10, 11 and so on. Now if electron was initially present in n is equal to 2, that means if ground state of electron was n is equal to 2, then excited state of electron can be n is equal to 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or so on. So electron will come back from its excited state to ground state. So this is a possibility that electron will come back from 3 to 2, 4 to 2, 5 to 2, 6 to 2, 7 to 2, 8 to 2 energy level. In the same way, if electron is present in n is equal to 3, if ground state of electron is n is equal to 3, then excited state can be n is equal to 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So if electron is present in n is equal to 4 excited state, then it will come back from n is equal to 4 to 3 or 5 to 3, 6 to 3, 7 to 3, 8 to 3 and so on. Now next one is, if electron is present in n is equal to 4 orbit, then excited state can be 5, 6, 7, 8. So possibility can be that electron will come back from 5 to 4, 6 to 4, 7 to 4 and 8 to 4. In the same way, for P1 value of n is 5. So electron can go in excited state n is equal to 6 or 7 or 8. So electron will come back from n is equal to 6 to 5. if electron is present in 7th orbit, then electron will come from excited state to ground state, that means from 7th orbit to 5th orbit, or from 8th orbit to 5th orbit. Now P fund lies in infrared region. Brackett and Balmer they lies in infrared region, and Balmer lies in visible region. Now for Balmer series, the ground state orbit is n is equal to 2, and the excited state can be 3, 4, 5 and 6. For Paschen series, ground state orbit is n is equal to 3 and excited state orbit is, it can be 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on. For Brackett series, ground state energy level is 4 and excited state energy level can be 5, 6, 7 and so on. For P fund, ground state energy level is 5. It is fixed, and excited state can be n is equal to 6, 7, 8 and so on. Now next is limitations of Bohr's model of atom. So Bohr's model of atom was unable to explain line spectra of multi-electrons atoms. That means this model was only for hydrogen atom and hydrogen-like species. Hydrogen-like species like helium positive, lithium 2 positive. Those species which have only one electron. Second, it was unable to explain splitting of lines in the presence of magnetic field and electric field. You see, these lines in the presence of electric and magnetic field split further into number of lines. So Bohr's model of atom was unable to explain the reason. Next one, inability to explain three-dimensional model of atom, inability to explain the shape of molecules, and it was unable to explain the de Broglie concept of dual nature of matter and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So next is ionization energy of hydrogen and hydrogen-like particles. So in numericals, you will see this term, that ionization energy or ionization enthalpy. What is the meaning of it? So ionization energy is the energy which is required to remove an electron from its ground state in an isolated gaseous atom so that it can convert into positive ion. Now next is development leading to quantum mechanical model of atom. So now a new model of atom was proposed and there were two main development in it. First was de Broglie concept of dual nature of matter. Second, Heisenberg uncertainty principle. In this lecture we will discuss about de Broglie's concept of dual nature of matter. So Einstein in 1905 suggested that light has dual nature, wave-like nature as well as particle-like nature. And Louis de Broglie, a French physicist in 1924, he gave his theory, and according to his theory, all the materialistic particles like electrons, protons, they also possess dual nature. That means they also have dual nature, particle-like nature as well as wave-like nature. So like the piece of chalk, piece of stone, microscopic particle, very small sized particle, or macroscopic particle, very large sized particle, they possess dual nature. That means wave-like nature as well as particle-like nature. So next is de Broglie relation. So we know that photon possess dual nature, wave-like nature as well as particle-like nature. So according to Planck's quantum theory, we can write that E is equal to h nu, because photon has wave-like nature. And according to Einstein's equation, E is equal to mc square, because photon also possess particle-like nature. Now here m is the mass of photon and c is the velocity of light. Now from equation 1 and 2, we can write h nu is equal to mc square. Now nu, that is frequency, is equal to c by lambda. So put this value in equation number 3 and it will become hc by lambda is equal to mc square. When you will cancel out c, then it will become lambda equal to h by mc. Now, de Broglie pointed out that above equation is applicable to any material particle, and the mass of the photon is replaced by mass of material particle, and velocity of the photon is replaced by velocity v of the material particle. Now, for any material particle, we can write lambda is equal to h by mv. Here mv is equal to momentum, so we can write mv is equal to p. So lambda is equal to h by p. Now this equation is known as de Broglie equation. Now significance of de Broglie equation is that this equation is applicable for only microscopic particle. Why? Because according to this equation, lambda is equal to h by mv. Here wavelength is inversely proportional to mass. So for microscopic particle, mass will be very less. If mass will be very less, then wavelength will be very high. So this equation is applicable only for microscopic particle. In case of macroscopic particles means those particles which have very large size. Mass will be more. As mass is in denominator, so that means wavelength will be very less. So this equation is not applicable for macroscopic particle. Now there is a derivation of Bohr's postulate of angular momentum from the de Broglie equation. Now according to Bohr's model, electrons revolves around nucleus in circular path. And according to de Broglie's equation and his concept, electron also possess dual nature, particle-like nature as well as wave-like nature. So we can say that the circumference of the orbit, it must be equal to an integral multiple of the wavelength. So here we can write that 2 pi r is equal to integral multiple of wavelength n lambda. Here r is the radius of the orbit, n is the integer. So here from de Broglie's equation we can write that lambda is equal to h by mv. So put this value, put equation number 2 in equation number 1. So it will become 2 pi r is equal to nh by mv. When you will shift mv on left hand side, then we can write mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. You can see that this is Bohr's postulate that only those electrons are allowed to revolve around nucleus whose angular momentum is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. This derivation is also a NCERT question. That's all for today, students. So your homework for today is that you have to do question number 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. So note down these questions. If you have any doubt or queries, you can ask me in comment box. Like and subscribe this channel. Thank you and have a nice day.